Welcome back to the Scorpio channel. My name is Laura. If you're new to the channel, I'm going to do a general message for Scorpio. Know that energy is fluid. Words can be reversed. Interpret the message as it best resonates with you. Also know on this channel, I like to dive deep within the reading. So I do look at everything, but we take time to look at the spiritual blocks, the shadows, and see how they play out as karmic themes. This will allow you to understand why everything's happening, why everything's playing out the way that it is, why you're attracting this person into your life that is triggering you, is, treating you badly. We want to know what is the spiritual significance to what's happening and how to integrate the spiritual lesson, because there's always a lesson. See, the universe grows us through the people, the situations, and the experiences that happen to us. So, in order for us to actually learn, we have to do something different. We have to see things differently in order to do things differently. And that is what evolution is about. Evolution is about being able to see further than your own narrow perception of what your reality has been, right? We all have the power to quantum jump into the experiences that we want to experience. So it's not just about what your person's going to do, though we always look at that because we want to satisfy the ego and we want to know whether that person's suffering, how they feel. But what's most important, again, is what we can do to learn the spiritual lesson. All right, now if you want to enter into winning free reading with me, you must like the video, subscribe to the channel, write the word of the video in your comment bar. The word of the video is always on the first card that I pull out, and it's the underlining energy that tells us why everyone's doing what they're doing. Now, a lot of times I like to pull lately from two decks, but you don't need to write both words in the comment bar. Only need to write one. All right, let's see what that word of the video is. It's disrespect. It's disrespect. All right, let's take another one. From my deck, the Psychic Soul Healer Oracle System. All right. See, the word of the video for that one is fantasizing. No, you're connected to somebody that knows that they disrespected you, didn't come back and apologize. I feel like, the usual, like when you're in a power struggle with a person, it's like, I feel like you're dealing with a person that wanted to be seen as superior, that wanted to not show how much feelings they had for you, really. I don't even know whether I should say they wanted to be superior. They just didn't want to be transparent about their emotions towards you. Feel like they got pushed to acting superior once, you questioned them. And I feel like they just never came back with an apology. They never fixed it. You just saw them as being disrespectful, not thinking about your feelings, not kind of treating you like you're an option, um, just lying, cheating, not being transparent, some gaslighting. I feel like this person disrespected you. You got the hint. And so now this person is like fantasizing. They're in a place of fantasizing and thinking about the worst, thinking about what the connection could have been, because they are still a connection. I feel like they still have feelings for you, but also about what they did. So they're in conflict. So let's see what you dealt with. But what we know is that they're very upset over it. I feel like they're kind of obsessing about it because they wouldn't be fantasizing about, when they were with you, they were distracted. It always seemed like there was that there was something always going on in this person's life. So they might have spent time with you, but you never really felt that they were being transparent. You never really felt like they wanted to even be there. You probably felt like they had one foot in, one foot out, or that they were always distracted by someone else, something else. And it's a way that you felt like they would avoid the connection. It's like avoid really getting emotionally deep, emotionally connected. So they weren't really transparent because they were always, like I said, distracted. And then you knew that a lot of times what they were doing was that they weren't going where they were saying that they were going. They were acting reckless. And reckless is drinking, going out drugging, taking dangerous risks. So taking dangerous risks with their health, with, just ruining their lives. I feel like also like talking to people that really are not on a high vibration and spending time with those people and then doing what those people like to do. If you're hanging out at a bar for hours at a time and you're hanging out with people that don't really have much direction, they don't really have much purpose, so they don't have good relationships, they don't have good, people that have addictions, people that keep them in a low vibration. And so, again, that makes them reckless because then their frame of mind of what life could be for them, they're fantasizing the worst. And that's really what I feel like. I feel like this person isn't as grounded as they should be. They disrespected you by not valuing, obviously, the relationship. And they knew that you had expectations of the relationship. But I also feel like they had expectations of what they felt like you were going to do. Because you say, well, why would they even be connected to me if they were distracted the entire time? They're distracted. And I feel like there might have been, karmic that was still lingering or that they didn't fully heal from that experience. And it's not a heal as if this person loved the person, but codependency. I feel like this person got together with you before a relationship was really finished, really done, and they lied and they, created a lot of illusions like that they cared a lot more than they did, but you knew that they didn't because they weren't transparent. They weren't going deep. They knew that you'd have expectations, but they were completely reckless in a relationship. Expectations that would be that, they're not holding space for anyone else, that they were really finished with their past connection, but it was almost like they didn't want you to move forward. This is the energy that I'm feeling. The expectation this person had for you was that you would not move forward. Is that because, again, you were forming a relationship, so they know now that that was very disrespectful of not being able, like, letting you know what was really happening with them. And it bothered them. I feel like it bothered them where they ran away from that. It's like they couldn't spend time with you because then they would need to be transparent and tell you, I'm not fully done with this connection. But not because they had love. It was love, but it wasn't that type of love that's like how they love you, like they're passionate about you. And that's the thing. I feel like you're like, yeah, but you're holding space for someone else while holding on to me. And you want me to give you emotionally while you're going to give to somebody else and make sure that that person that you're holding on to is is comfortable but you're not seeing how you're not making me comfortable. You're just not going to let me know. You're not going to be transparent. And this is why this person knew what they were doing. It did bother them. That's why I feel like they would go out and drink and act reckless. I mean, what they did with you was reckless. So in this fact that this person just didn't know how to handle what was going on. And I feel like what it was that the person that they were connected to they knew was going to have a hard time with letting them go. And they were still emotionally connected to that person, where that person was able to influence your person by emotionally manipulate them, and your person knew that that was not right. They knew that it wasn't right, but they still were like, well, what can I do? So there's a sense of, you're like, well, I don't want to be in a connection like that. I want to be in a connection where you're still holding on to somebody else. There's a sense like that this person knows that. They know that. And so this person feels like that you want them to be perfect, okay? That you want them to be perfect. That there's a sense of that this person doesn't know how to handle this situation. It's like that they've gone through, that they've been emotionally connected to someone else for a very long time. It's just that that connection went toxic. It went bad. So it's like they don't really know what to do, but it's not like they don't have an emotional connection to you. They have a spiritual connection to you, but they haven't put the time in, not genuine time. So there's a sense that this person knows that you would have expected them to be like, I don't want to say not making any mistakes, but if you're a soulmate, you see them as your perfect partner. You see them as and you'd have expectations that they were supposed to act a certain way. And they didn't do that. They didn't do that for you. They didn't give you that choice. They were like, well, I have to deal with this. So it's almost like you have to pay for their, like, the fact that that number one, they weren't honest. They said that they were out of a connection before they were actually out of that connection. So they weren't thinking about you. They were thinking about what they wanted. So what you see is you care about what you want, and you care about not hurting this person, which means that you're disrespecting me. It's like, and I don't care what your reasoning was. It's what it is that you were okay with that. And this person knows it. They're haunted by it. They're haunted by it. And understand you're haunted by it too. That's why there's a sense that I can't let this go. You ruin the connection. And I feel like that's what the karmic wanted. So if you really want to be with this person, I wouldn't let your ego get in the way, because the karmic really staged it so that they would, prolong, like to keep putting obstacles so that, whoever was there would think that, hey, somebody else is, on the back burner waiting for you, and they're going to wait a long time. And that means you're giving to me. Let them fantasize. Let them imagine. Let them imagine that things are going wrong. And I believe that this karmic gave your person really bad advice, and they took it. And that's what you know. So you see that there's still a loyalty with that karmic. And that's what the karmic wanted to say. Like, listen, you may be here, but at the end of the day, the loyalty belongs to me. And that's why this person is haunted, because they know that there's no way around fixing that. And you also know there's no way that you can. But in a way, that's what the karmic wanted. It's like, well, I'm going to win because I am just going to put every obstacle in this person's way. But this person also is not going to have the guts to be honest with whoever is there. They're not going to talk to them. I told them not to, I told them to, that you should, that Scorpio should come back to you. That you should go back to them is pretty much what I'm saying. It's like, and they took that advice. They took the advice. What did I say? They were influenced. They would got bad advice, and they listened to it. And so that's what the karmic wanted. The karmic said, I want whoever is sitting there to know that the loyalty went to me. So they could say that, you can say that you love that person. The person knows that you were just there. You gave all your resources, all your time, all your energy to me. So, and so one's very easy that they'll eventually be with you and then they'll want to return back to me because I will hold all the resources. I will hold, you know, we have history. So it's toxic. It's an extremely toxic environment where you're connected to someone that doesn't want to be in that relationship, but they're allowing that karmic to emotionally manipulate them, to psychologically manipulate them. They're almost like a covert narcissist where it's like they do not want this person to move on. They do not. And there's a part of your person that is still extremely codependent and has not let go of that person. But they still want to be connected to you. And this is the thing, what you know, you're like, no, I know what you want. You want to have your cake and eat it too. But I'm not doing that. I care, I honor myself. This person isn't used of a person honoring themselves because understand by you removing yourself is making this person feel very uncomfortable because at the end of the day, they're stuck to somebody that's emotionally and psychologically manipulating them, which is making them feel very small because they're not, who are they? They're in a connection that they don't really want to be in a connection with, but they feel emotionally manipulated. So, but you have to say why. Why is it comfortable? Because this person can stay in a low vibration. They can go and talk to other people. They can go and, to stay in their low vibration of drinking and drugging and acting reckless. But at the end of the day, that karmic thought that they were going to take your place, Scorpio. That's what they thought. And what they see is, no, they're still drugging, they're still drinking, they're still doing, and that you're not there. It's like they know that your person wants to be with you. They're just not strong enough, or like psychologically they're being messed with, like they're being tricked. They're being like there's a part of them that is so confused over like what to do. And it's because like their survival is linked with this karmic. So they're being very influenced, and that karmic is like, oh no, you're not gonna like you're not going to take my place. I'm not going anywhere. But what they see now is the karmic is seeing is I'm not getting, I like your person still isn't giving them the love and the attention and anything. If anything, they're ignoring them. And they're like, okay, well, I'm here. Your person's like, I'm here, but I don't want to be here. Like, okay, what else? What else? And this is making the karmic extremely mad because they're like, like, come on already, just give up, give up, give up. That person doesn't want to be with you anymore. That person doesn't want to be with you anymore. So now they're, like again, it's like the karmic is like being like you disrespected them. You disrespected Scorpio and you like feeding to this person, imagining why, you would never take them back. And so what we see here is someone that's very insecure, someone that's very insecure because of what they did. It's like for a long time they were in denial of what they did, but it's because they were influenced by someone in their environment. And so I feel like the karmic gets very dramatic. Like this person has over the top behavior, almost like they become like bipolar. Like becoming very emotionally unstable and creating a lot of attention and like letting other people know exactly what's going on because they can't control them now. They can't control your person anymore. They don't have a hold. They can't manipulate them anymore because your person is like awakening to the fact of Well, you're not the person that you said that you were. I can see everything that you're doing. It's like you went from telling me to hold back, not give, and to like, kind of betray you. And again, betrayal, that's the word. So again, they did betray you by not being there, by possibly even talking about you, because the karmic was right there feeding this person, telling them what a horrible person you are, telling them like how you're like this or you're like that, and then they listen to the wrong person. And because this person was also watching you at the same time. So again, the karmic is out of control. They're becoming extremely more dramatic. They're getting nervous. They can't, again, they're creating the drama to control. So they're pulling in other people, getting other people, and it's feeding your person's insecurity. Because that's really what the karmic knows. It's like, I'm going to keep this person your person in a low vibration by continually manipulating. Like, I believe that your person's connected to a covert narcissist, and like there's a sense that your person doesn't know like how to how to get out of that situation. So in a way, they were hoping that you were going to help them get out of that situation. But because if they were hanging out with you and holding on to you, well, eventually that karmic would have found out. And then it would have come down to you and that karmic fighting over. And the karmic always wins because the karmic has already been with this person and knows every button to push. And there's a loyalty. And by you not playing the game, well, now the person was able to actually open up their eyes and be like, oh my God, like this is who I'm connected to. This is who I gave loyalty to. This is who I like did. So again, they played on their insecurity to a point. So when you met this person, they were self-righteous, but that's because of their insecurity. Now it's like the karmic comes across as if they're self-righteous, but they're insecure too. They know that they're losing. The person that they perceive is their person to you. They might not know who you are, but they know that their person is holding space for you, and it is driving them crazy because they're like, by now you would have caved, by now you would have given in to me, by now. Who do you love? Who is there? Who is there? And I believe that your person is staying away from you to protect you. And it's also like, I'm not going to say, yeah, the karmic is drowning in their emotions. But they were hoping that you would be drowning in your emotions. So everything that this karmic had put out to you is actually coming back to them full force. It's like, because now they're exposed. See, where before, when they weren't exposed, it's very easy to manipulate your person, but your person now is not. It's like they're again going down the rabbit hole. They're like, oh my God, who is this person? The more that I like look into this person to see like how they sabotage me, the more I learn, the more that who I perceive that they were, the more that I see how wrong I am. It's like, again, they go deeper and deeper, and it's almost like taking them down a wild adventure, but where it's not a positive one. It's one that makes them feel more insecure because they trusted this person. And that's what the karmic was trying to influence. Like, you can't trust anybody. You can't trust her or him. You can't trust, like, you can't trust yourself. You never make that person happy. You don't make anybody happy. You're like, again, it's full of control and secrets. And at this point, like what the karmic would say is like, well, if they're going to be with you, they're going to be inconsistent. So I feel like they were actually inconsistent with you when you first dealt with them. And the reason why was because this karmic was always there. Karmic was always there. So we have to look and see again what type of connection this person believes that they have with you. I mean, in spite that we see that they obviously need healing and that you need healing. But we're going to see whether they're going to get out of their situation, because what we see also is that you're not coming to rescue them. Just like you, I'm always doing some form of mission. My energy and wisdom supports those around me. So again, this person is seen as somebody that, or was seen as someone that was important within their community, someone that might have had like their own business and contributed that way, but then would have like fundraisers and like they just, people knew them in the community where they were respected. And it was because of the deeds that they do, which is probably why the karmic also wants to be connected to them. Because of you, I'm starting to see what is really important in my life. And the thing is, it's like this person wasn't loyal to you, but what they see is that that karmic's not loyal to them. The loyalty that this karmic has is for themselves. And that's like, I'm holding on to you because I'm not letting go of whatever the resources are. I like what my life looks like with you. And would I want you to love me? Yes. I would want you to love me. I would love for it to go back to the way that it was when I first met you. However, do they know that it will never go back to the way that it was? Yes, they know. Too much pain, too much hurt, too much, but they're still willing to go for the runner-up prize, which is, well, we die together, like we grow old together. Like whether we're not really that happy, and we might have affairs on each other from time to time, but we, at the end of the day, that's what our marriage is. That's what our connection is. You really love me. So it's again, the person is a little deluded, and what your person sees is, well, I have to think the way that the karmic thinks in order for that to work, and that doesn't really work for them. It's like because this person's on a higher vibration than the karmic, which is why the karmic like is supposed to like leave, like not be in this connection anymore. But it's up to your person to actually like disconnect from it. I need to be strong in who I am before I can merge my energy with yours in the 3D. I'm afraid I can lose myself in the relationship. And that's one thing that this person learned from that karmic connection. It's like they feel like they feel almost so connected to that karmic where, because the karmic is able to influence them, has been around them for a long time. They whether that was a 5 year, 10 year, 15 year, 20 year connection. It was a long time. And so the karmic has like knows that your person is very empath, like it's like an empath can feel, and really has manipulated them into like being in the connection. I think if the karmic never influenced the connection, this relationship would have been over a long time ago. This karmic has put a lot of time, effort, and energy into keeping this connection looking the way that it is. It's their main priority. And I think that for a long time, your person believed that that's what they wanted too, because the karmic would influence them, almost brainwash them every day. But like they thought that in their mind, but on the side they were still cheating. They were still like doing things like to again feel fulfilled. So they knew that that connection again didn't feel right, but it logically it's right that they stay. It's right that they do the right thing. And the karmic also told them that, especially if they have children, you need to do what's right. You need to do what's right. You need to do what's right. So this person is saying, like, I'm trying to figure out this connection. I've never experienced anything like it before. I say the connection with you and them makes them dive deep and makes them want to leave that connection. And that's like, I mean, listen, the universe does not want your person to be with that karmic because the karmic keeps them in a low vibration. And that is because your person doesn't really want to be with them. They want to be with you. But because they can't be with you, then they're going to go and they're going to cheat and they're going to do things with other people on the side and be very disrespectful to all those other people, because the karmic doesn't care just as long as it stays looking the way that it does and that no one gets anything. It's like not anything really. Keeps your person in a very low vibration. I am walking home to you. I'm not sure where I am on the path, but they know that they're coming home. They know that they're leaving that karmic. They're like, and they, for them to like, again, really break away from the connection that they're in, they would have to, again, it would need to be a profound connection where it's a spiritual one. And it's because this person is supposed to evolve into a higher state of consciousness. I don't believe that they are on the same vibration as you, but they are not on the same vibration as that karmic. They're like in the middle, like of it, trying to. And part of that is through the awakening of, hey, wait, this is who I'm really connected to. Wait a minute, this isn't what I want. Like again, and you just not being around or playing the game. This karmic would have loved it if you would have, engaged, made it easy. Because if you would show yourself, then they could fight you off. It's like the fact that you don't do anything and that you stay back makes your person ruminate more and fantasize more about you, worry more, realizing you're not coming back. They're actually losing a connection and that they're staying connected to a karmic and that the karmic is who they are. They're really being exposed. And all the karma that they gave out, thinking that it was going to crush you, that it was going to debilitate you. No, it's not. That's what's happening to the karmic, because your person is really saying, I don't want to be with you. I really have feelings for somebody else. And this is like, karmic just can't believe it. Separated us together, we are working in tantrum with each other. Like this person believes that you're their soulmate. They believe that. They're like, this is what I know. We need to wait for divine timing. Time is healing our wounds and creating the perfect conditions for our reunion. So again, this karmic's not going to be around in the same way when they come back to you. It's like, and I believe that you're working on yourself, that the divine does have a hand in this connection, because that karmic is someone that is, again, has worked very hard for a very long time in keeping your person like bound to them. And it's like the person has not wanted to be there in a long time. Our mission is to be unconditional love. Clearing our programming is a necessary part of opening our hearts. So again, this is a twin flame connection, okay, of learning what unconditional love is. That it's that this person did not really want to be with you. Like it would have been easier to stay with the karmic, to be honest with you. It's like they weren't looking to change. If anything, it was very scary for them to change, to go up against the karmic. So spirit is saying that's because of past life karmic and also the childhood trauma. So that's why it was very difficult, and part of this person's past life karma was to be connected to that karmic mate, and also for you to be connected to someone that's connected to that and be helpless and act helpless. So you might have watched someone uh, have a lot of power over someone that you cared about, that you loved, and that traumatized you on some level. And that could be having two parents, and one parent is like a bully to another parent, or like just doesn't care about that other parent. So like there's a sense of reliving that, like because you're watching this, your soulmate, this profound connection that you have with your twin flame, being like, that really, that they love you, that they want to be with you, you have a knowing, but it's like they can't get out of their situation. So they were trying to like have their situation work out, where it's like you would like, well, you're trying to like have your cake and eat it too, where it's like, no, this person was hoping that you would actually fight like fight like their battles, like where because they're like afraid to go up against this karmic where twin flame, that's what it takes for this person to have the passion and the desire to love, to want a better life for themselves. So the divine definitely is involved in this connection because this person is finally not listening to that karmic that is connected to their insecurity and their ego, but they're connected to their heart, their intuition, which is where spirit is, right? This person, I believe, tends to be like impulsive. So when they come to you, they're going to be impulsive because you make them feel as if they belong. It's like, again, this connection is a deep connection. There's a knowing. It's like that belonging it's like, I feel like you're home. And that's what this karmic is up against. And that's why this karmic is flipping out right now because they've lost control. So we have to say, well, what's your lesson? We see what their lesson is. We see what challenges that they're overcoming in separation, because twin flame, soulmate, there's always separation. Let's see what yours are. Let's see what you're supposed to do. We're going to look at the 6 inner child cards, and then we're going to pull 2 more cards from a different deck. Okay, organized chaos, trauma, support, confusion, dance, imagination. And then we're going to pull 2 from this deck. See what they are. Hearts aligned. I knew that we would have pulled that. And facing fears. Well, it makes sense. One for both. Now, what I see is obviously you connected to this person because you grew up in an environment that was very chaotic. It was organized because you went to school, everyone went to work, but there was a lot of, you could have grown up in an alcoholic family where everybody like plays the part in the family functions, but it's chaotic. And it's chaotic because no one's going to talk about the pink elephant in the room. No one's going to, address what's imbalanced. And, everyone just intuitively knows the role that they have to play. And so Spirit saying you grew up in an environment that was like that. You knew what role you had to play because there was a lot of trauma, and it was trauma around support, that there was no support. There was confusion, and that confusion is these people are supposed to love me. They're supposed to love themselves, but this is the way that they treat themselves. This is the way that they treat me. I'm always alone. It's like, so again, everybody plays that part in the dynamic of a dysfunction home. So we don't find our own rhythm. We don't find our own, way, our own unfoldment process. Whenever I see dance, I think that we got to go with the flow of life. You can't see it because it's green, but it's a hula dancer and it says dance. And so I always see it as, again, dancing, we have to feel the rhythm. We all dance different. We all have our own unique way of going through life, and our own unfoldment process allows us to have that deep connection to spirit, because the unfoldment process only happens in the now, and it happens when we are invested in our things that we love, the things that we're doing. We can see the flow. We can see the flow of the universe. We can feel when things are working for us, right? When things are working for us, it seems easy. Everything tends to fall in. It seems like synchronicity. Well, it's that the energy. It's like that. I believe that was affected. It's like you weren't allowed to find your flow per se. And it was because, hey, your energy was more about survival, and survival because there was imbalances happening. So you had to do the job of your parents. You had to figure things out. You became a parent before your time because again of the lack of support. And I say support when it's traumatic support, it means that there was alcoholism, there was, mentally, emotionally imbalanced parents, or you had parents that just were not available. They weren't there. They didn't show up. So you had to grow up before your time, and that creates a lot of trauma. It creates psychological trauma because every day you're feeling, well, I must not be loved. I must not be important. I'm a burden. And from a child's perspective, it's very scary. Then they begin to view the world as it's very scary. And so they're not creating the support that they would need to thrive. Because you have to be able to, you know, become something as a child, like figure out rather, like what you want to do to become yourself as a child. So that might be like when you're a kid, you say, I always wanted to be a hairdresser, or I always wanted to be a doctor. I always had a calling. I always felt. And so when there is that, then what happens is that the child goes out and they imagine it and they do things that are in alignment with that. And then the people that are in their life that love them and support them, they point out all the things that they notice that on their path, they point out all the little things that they notice that are in alignment with you. So when you have that love and you have support, and as a child, if you were into soccer, let's just say, that your parents would go out and the universe would show them different things that are in alignment. It creates support. It creates support because you have the emotional support of your parents cheering you on and also helping you to make you better at what you are trying to become. They're also teaching you that it takes time and patience and consistency to again be able to manifest. But if your parents are in balance, they're not teaching you, they're not there. So the issue becomes it's again very confusing, and you're not finding your individuality because you are too busy in survival mode. So in a way that a child deals with it is they check out. They go inside themselves. It's a safe space. Now some children will some children may be a little bit more grounded, but a lot of times children are not that grow up in trauma. And the reason why is because children can't run away, they can't talk back to their parent that's not treating them well. They have to kind of just sit there and deal with it. So they get stuck in the freeze. And when you're stuck in that fight, flight, or freeze, then that freeze part, it doesn't feel good. And so children tend to go inward. They go inward as a way to escape. They can't deal with what's actually happening. It's a form of detachment. So Spirit says, so you grew up in that environment, but you have psychic abilities, and psychic abilities is that imagination sparks that intuition, and that intuition is the gateway to the higher self, and the higher self is a God part of self that allows you to continually co-create with spirit and the universe. And so you're able to create your life, recreate your life through your imagination. That's why they would say the child that survived thrives, and thrives through the imagination and finding their flow, where this person that's you're connected to, like, it's not that they don't have feelings, it's like, or that they're strong. It's not they're just not strong within themselves. And that's really, you're connected to someone that didn't give you support. So nobody was actually supposed to come into your life during this time, this transitional time, to give you support. When I say transitional time, it could be again in between relationships or a change of job, maybe a death in your family, like something that again you would want support. Spirit saying no, you have to create your own support because again, you grew up in organized chaos. And so it's about aligning your heart's desires, right? Align your actions with your heart's true desires. Just follow your passion. And really, when you get your twin flame, that's what they're helping you do. They're helping you to ignite your passion, your fire, to help you transmute those spiritual blocks that keep us stuck in fear. They actually help us face our fears. They would help us see that fear is just an illusion, that a lot of times we go through past experiences, and those experiences shape our perception of who we are and what the world is, where really that's just a perception. And if we're not healed, it's not going to be a positive perception, where spirit is saying it's, you have to face your fears, because what you'll notice a lot of times is that fear that you're holding on to is just an illusion, and don't let it hold you back. You need to confront your challenges, and that is a lot of times by, doing what's not going to feel good. Healing doesn't feel good, because when you face your fears, you're going to feel all that anxiety come up, and all those memories from the past experiences. However, we can transcend the limitations of our own mind by being still and knowing that only in the now do you get divine guidance through gut, intuition, inner knowing, that just because certain things tend to continually play out within our lives, they're called karmic loops, that we don't need to make an experience a loop. We can actually break that loop by doing something different. And when we don't know what to do, we don't do anything. We need to be still and wait for that divine guidance. If you feel that you're reactionary, which like your person is impulsive because they're reactionary, well, what you can do is you can train your nervous system. You can do breath work. You can get strong within your body. It's saying that you need a better connection to your body so that you can feel more grounded and present, and realize that you're never alone, that you don't need anything outside of you. You create your own support by aligning like your character and everything with the highest level of consciousness, which is unconditional love, but also by keeping the focus on doing what you love and embodying that energy of doing what you love, so that you can continuously transcend the limitations of your mind by just being in the moment and being able to react appropriately by the information that is given to you in the now, opposed to what has been shown to you in the past. See, a lot of times, soulmate twin flame relationships have these spiritual blocks that are so deep because that's all they knew, as they grew up in an environment that taught them that love was conditional, that there was something wrong with them, that they should be something that they're not. So in that, again, there's a lack of support. And that anxiety and those experiences that are negative wind up manifesting in their real experiences. However, it's all about seeing a different perception, creating a new reality, quantum jumping into a new reality. And that's what this soulmate twin flame connection allows, because the love is there. Is that what all through the reading? What's not there is the person's not secure in themselves. They don't love themselves, but they're working on it. And there again, it's just a process. And what you're doing is you are, again, like you are in your energy of creating your own support for yourself, needing to create the support for yourself by tapping into your own gifts and again, facing the fear of what might happen, what could happen, and what has happened to parents or people that you loved, opposed to getting in your passion. And again, quantum jumping into the reality that you want. I'm going to leave that there, Scorpio. Oh, no, wait, one more. I knew that there was one more card that I needed to pull. And that is one more card from Spirit about the connection. Because it's like you guys are going to be together. It looks like it's just in divine timing. Because the divine always has a hand in twin flame soulmate connection. Okay, so let's see what that is the path to light. Make the conscious choice to move towards the light one step at a time. Transform your weaknesses into strengths by mastering your thoughts. Overcome obstacles with positivity and acceptance, and develop your gifts and extend your light to everything unconditionally. And that's what Spirit says is become the energy of unconditional love. That is the energy and the vibration of God and the universe. And you have God inside of you, and you can transcend the limitations of your mind by becoming a new you, by transforming your weaknesses into strengths. And that's always done by mastering your thoughts. And we can master our thoughts by becoming again something else, seeing something else, doing something else than what was done, and to overcome your obstacles with positive and acceptance, to develop your gifts. Again, that takes time, and extend your gifts to the world, because that's how we give and receive of love. And that's how we get our daily bread. That's how we get our money. That's how we can transcend the limitations of our minds. We can't, again, fight the energy. We can't go back in time. It's all about learning to let go and seeing things differently. And Spirit says, in order for you to heal, you would need to see that this person wanted to be with you the whole time. Is that what they did was more of a reflection of their fear of facing, like what this karmic might do to themselves or what they might do to them, where really it's not real. They have to break away from their core beliefs. And the same thing for you when it came to, again, creating the financial support that you needed to see that you can actually do yourself by tapping into your gifts and then sharing your gifts. And that the path to light you're both on. The path to light is just the path to love. The path to unconditional love is when we are on our path, is we are becoming more whole. We are raising our consciousness to the highest vibration of unconditional love, so we can be in forgiveness, we can have compassion, we can be vulnerable. All right, I'm going to leave that there. You let me know how you resonated with this one, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.